The Isle of Wight, situated between the Solent and the English Channel, with an expanse of land that covers an area of 150 square miles. Slightly more than half, mainly in the west, is designated as an area of outstanding natural beauty. With a coastline of roughly 70 miles, I'm here to walk this entire route. Join me as I visit rugged terrains, coastal towns and natural beauty spots. This is the Isle of Wight Coastal Path. So beginning at Shanklin, I'll be visiting places such as Sandown, Bembridge, off towards Ryde, Cowes, Yarmouth and of course the Needles, before following the southern coast through Freshwater Bay on towards Ventnor and then finally back at Shanklin. And on day one I began at Shanklin in the early hours, a beautiful sunrise, and pushed on towards Sandown, round towards Bembridge and finally on towards Ryde. And in this particular video I shall be doing the walk from Shanklin, Sandown and off towards Bembridge. Everyone, and welcome to the southwest coast, the small town of Shanklin on the Isle of Wight. I have come this week to do the Isle of Wight circular walk and I'm really hoping for some beautiful weather, and it's not a bad start, is it? Look at this. So beginning today, I've just come up from the beach down there and straight away we've got some noisy seagulls, but we've got the sign up, the coastal path. I'm going to be doing it anti-clockwise because that'll be facing the sunrise on this very first morning, and sort of maybe might even get a sunset at some point in the week when we're going the opposite direction. You're a noisy bugger, aren't you? So we're beginning the journey. I'm going to set up my app to track my route and we'll see what beautiful things we can find on this circular walk of the Isle of Wight. So I set my alarm for 4:15 this morning and I'm out at around about 4:45, and I'm beginning this just before 5 AM. Just look at that sky over there. Sunrise is in about 10 minutes time. This is almost like a Big Dipper going down here. Look at this. So the weather forecast today, it's looking good, isn't it? Clear blue all the way through till lunchtime, and it's still staying nice for the remainder of the day. Not quite looking forward to tomorrow though, so let's hope that does change. But Wednesday looking good, as does Thursday. Look at that, brilliant. I can just make out Sandown popping into view, the pier protruding out into the sea. I believe that's 145 years old. And hopefully we can get near that and have a quick fly of the drone around that too. I'm going to push on. You can already see from over there that you know the sunrise is going to be spectacular, and that is exactly what it is. This is why I get up when I do. Fast approaching Sandown. All the shots and seafront and hotels are just over there. You can just make out the pier just there. Look, the sun is just above it. Let's get down towards the town and beside the pier. What a beautiful morning this is turning out to be. So just breaking away from the coastal path for a moment in Sandown, we've got some of the old Sandown batteries, and these were constructed in 1863 and they were built to protect against a potential French invasion. And with France looming over there and the waters facing this part of the island, you can see why this is such a perfect spot and an outlook for what it was intendedly built for. Got a great big circular area. Now I'm not clued up on stuff like this, but I'm going to bring you down and have a look at it all the same. Has some more old brick buildings just over here. Now there were in fact 5 guns installed at the cost of £6,233. I believe it took just over 2 years to construct between 1861 and 1863. These brick buildings and walls are just, they're in such good condition for their age, aren't they? The little lookout point just there, look. Let's go over and look at the other side. There seems to be a fair bit more lookout points, and you can imagine them poking a rifle through there, couldn't you? Obviously all these hedges and bushes would not have been there when this was in operation. Some steps. Let's get ourselves up here and we can have a look above. So not a lot to see. This was probably another area of lookout just here. And the old building down there. So I'm going to try and find little nuggets like this and hopefully add some old black and white photos as well as I find them. 140 foot above sea level this is as well. The views must have been astounding, but may well have been pretty scary and spectacular at the same time. And remarkably, on the other side of this gun battery, it's now been turned into a poo museum. Yeah, I was in disbelief as well. There we go, look at that. Let's go and have a look inside. The Poo Museum opened on the 25th of March 2016, originally as a mobile museum. It's now permanently located at the Sandown Barrack Battery. Now this feces displayed in resin spheres. Now the museum also teaches many things, as well as it aims to educate people about the issues related to the poo, including dog fouling and sanitation. Plans for Sandown Pier were drawn up in the 1860s and the bill passed in Parliament in 1864. However, construction did not start until 1876. The first section of the pier measured 360 feet and it was opened on the 29th of May 1878 by Lady Oglander. Work to extend the pier to its full intended length was started in 1894. The new works were badly damaged in a storm in January 1895, but by September 1895 the pier reopened following modifications which lengthened it by 545 feet, giving it a total length of 870 feet. So now we bid farewell to Shanklin, Sandown and Yaverland, and we head up towards the Earl of Yarborough's monument on top of here. And we've also got the Culver Point beacon to look for, and I believe there's also some kind of fort up here as well. You wouldn't think there was much to see beyond there, but there really is. So I'm going to walk up what is called Red Cliff, continue my ascent and head up towards the monument and the beacon. There we go, look at that. Hidden away, you've got to imagine just there that none of these bushes and trees and hedges would have been there, and this would have indeed been a really good lookout point over the cliff and down to the sea. Still on my ascent, let's push on. First kissing gate of the day. Apparently you're supposed to give someone a bit of a kiss or a peck going through there. So I'm walking on what is the Red Cliffs. It's a little bit breezy now, plenty of sheep and lambs over there. The fort is up there. You might just be able to pick out the monument in the distance up there, and the beacon too. There's a cafe up there as well, but I think I'm a bit too early for that at 6:15 in the morning. Oh, this is indeed quite a climb up. Who said there were going to be hills? I'm just over 4 miles into the walk, the full circular walk. The fort again is over there, and the monument is just over that brow. The Yarborough Monument was erected in 1849 by public subscription in memory of Charles Anderson Pelham, the 2nd Earl of Yarborough. In 1825 he was appointed the first Commodore of the Royal Yacht Squadron at Cowes, and during his time in that position the popularity of yachting and membership of the squadron had grown. After his sudden death in 1846, the committee of the squadron proposed a nautical monument in his memory and contributed £200 towards the cost, and the Yarborough Monument was the result. The monument had originally been erected further to the west on top of the Bembridge Down, but was moved to its current position in 1867 to make way for the Bembridge Down Fort. So it's time to leave all this behind and push on as we take the descent down towards Bembridge Bay. That is over there on that corner as it goes around. I can see the UK mainland just over there. Places such as Portsmouth and Southsea are right over there, which means that once we've gone around Bembridge Bay, we'll be coming along to Ryde and then also onto Cowes. So let's push on down towards Bembridge Bay, where I believe that's where we'll finish off this particular video. Quite eerie down here, but it's beautiful too. Assuming we're going to go off to the left. Yeah, nice twisty section that is. So the last mile or so there's not really been a great deal to see. It's just been a path surrounded by trees and bushes for absolutely ages, and occasionally you just get a little bit of this. It's just like a jungle down there, but you can still make out where there have been landslips, and these trees have probably grown since or even slid down the cliffside. So still heading towards Bembridge. Not sure how far between where we've just come from at the monument towards Bembridge we are. But as you can see, still, look, it's just like this. There's not a lot to see. So I've not missed any out. There's just been nothing to really show you. But as soon as there is, I'll be back. So, stop a moment. I've currently done 5.7 miles. And it's took me almost 2.25 hours. Now that sounds like I've been going very, very slowly. But it's because of all the times I have to stop to put the drone up and film additional little pieces. So normally that distance would probably take me around about 1.5 hours for that kind of distance. Just off the path, look, this looks nice. Again, you can clearly see where there's been landslips though, can't you? Down to the beach. Bembridge is just out of sight around there. Nice quaint little spot, isn't it, down here? So currently a dried up brook going down, which probably comes off as a little waterfall when it's flowing. Plenty of rain forecast tomorrow, I believe, so that could be flowing by then. Good morning. How are you? All right? Of course you are. There's all your friends and family over there. Oh, and this looks like it's about to open up. Spectacular. Wow. Look at that. That's not long gone, has it? Not a lot growing. So that just shows that it's quite a recent slip, isn't it? The last couple of years maybe. Because the greenery down there is probably what was once sat here and it's just embedded itself and continued to grow. Spectacular views at the moment. Quite a number of boats out there. I've been watching a few of them. Might be able to make out some just there. They've been pretty stationary for the entire time that I've been walking this morning. I've just come around the front of them where I started off around the back at Shanklin. Just see the white cliffs poking out just there, look. And that's where the monument is, just up there. And quite a bit more just here, look. You can see where it's dropped and then settled again just there, look. It's like it's gone like that. And yeah, I imagine this part of the path will have to be a bit further inland, given a little bit of time. Dropped quite a bit as well in terms of height. You can't really see it, but I'd say my descent is probably around about halfway down from where the monument was towards Bembridge, just down here. And just here, look, you can see where the path used to go. It's even worn down still, look. And then it disappears. Apologies for the wind at this point. This has only just happened recently, hasn't it? By the looks of it. So at Bembridge I had to leave the coastal section behind and go a little bit inland, and it is part of the coastal path. It's probably just not there around the edge of the coast at this point due to erosion. I can show you on OS maps where I am, look. So you can see just there the path goes in. I am currently the little red marker just there. Ooh. And we're heading towards where the pier of the car park is to pick it up again. So continuing on down here, we will meet up with the coast again, and we should be facing the English mainland as well, and we'll be heading more of a westerly direction, so a complete change of course once we get towards the end of this path. Now that over there, that's the RNLI Bembridge lifeboat station. So it's more like a pier, isn't it? Absolutely lovely. I'm watching the ships go across, back and forth. The drone would have picked up what looked like a ferry, maybe going off to Calais over in that direction. And the UK mainland is just over there. So on the way we're going to pick up Bembridge Point. That is just over there. We'll have to go inland a little bit to go around what is Bembridge Harbour. Hopefully I can get some nice drone shots of that, and then we loop around the harbour and go back towards the coast as we pick up our route towards Ryde itself. Okay, the signposts for the coastal path are there, but the path is closed, probably due to subsidence of some sort, so I'm going to have to step down onto the beach and follow it down here a little way. It's an old piece of something, look, winding wheel or a cog, some kind of mechanism, probably to do with water, or maybe off a boat which got wrecked a long time ago. So looking at OS maps and where I started, just there, you see a lot of it has actually gone inland. And it is signposted to do this as we get towards Bembridge Point, which is right there in the middle. I don't know if you can really make that out. And then the harbour is that area there, so that's where we're heading towards. So hoping to pick up the coastal areas again very, very soon, rather than just walking on these paths. But I'm sticking to the correct path. It's all signposted. Looks like I'm going to come onto a road, but I can see yachts in the distance, so obviously I'm getting close to the harbour. This is called the Palmer Memorial. It's quite nice. Finally made it all the way around the harbour, so I've come all the way, looped around. Oh, it must have been about a mile, it feels like it anyway. Coastal path, signs are back, look. Well, they've guided me all the way around anyway. We've got to go across this causeway. Stinks, it really stinks just here. You can tell the tide's out just here. But this is pretty good, isn't it? So we get to have a better look at the harbour now from this side. Hopefully there's a bit more to show you and talk about now we've gone beyond that. So that's where I just walked, again, all the way around there, looped around and came from over there. Let's get across here. So the tide is still going out. You can see the fast flowing water coming out this side. Look, it's emptying out. You wouldn't think looking at it was really moving that fast, would you? But it must just funnel down and goes below this little bridge. I just coming off the path momentarily, I'm looking for an old church. St Helens Duval, or Dover. I think it's pronounced Dover. D-U-V-E-R, but yeah. Dates back to around 1220, and it was ceased to be used as a church in 1703 when the tower was bricked up and turned into a sea mark, which it is today. I suppose from being out there, it's a point of interest for anyone coming along the coast, isn't it? Let's have a look around the other side. Lovely, lovely views. You can see where it's been bricked at the side to reinforce it too. And the same on this side, look, there's some red brick reinforcements. Let's come around. Oh yeah, look at that. All the way up there. Right, let's push on. Okay, back on my way again, leaving the remains of that church around about 900 years old back behind us, and we're heading towards a place called Sea View now, I believe. And I expect it's got a beautiful sea view, seeing it had to be called Sea View. Then it's Puckpool Battery, some remains of World War II, I believe, just there, before we get onto the final destination of Ryde. Now the footpath now, we're still on the official course, leaving St Helens behind. It's a grassy path through fields. The coast and beach is probably about a couple hundred metres over there. Bit of an incline, let's get going. They're running water as well. I'm trying to get through here without stinging my legs. Oh, don't like this bit. Nice little bridge. You can hear the water, can you? Yeah, you can't see it, but it's down there. Another gate. There we go. Right, let's navigate this. Oh, which way? Let's say this way. So I made it out alive. The other path's there, so it wouldn't matter which one I did. It's starting to get quite warm now. It's all opened up a bit and we're going uphill. Okay, look, coming through this very old kissing gate. Coastal path sign, look where we've come from, where we're going. So up here, that's the Nodes Point Holiday Park, a Haven Holiday Park point of reference. Some horses up here then, I imagine too. Yeah, more evidence. We collect that up for the Shanklin Poo Museum. There they are. There's about 8 or 9 of them. I think I'll be walking behind these for a little bit now. Just had a poo stop. That's it, past the horses. Sally's horse riding, I believe that was. They're going down to the beach. Lovely bunch. So this is the quaint little village of Seaview. Look at the old post office. It's now a letting agency by the looks of it, and it really is a sea view. And it's so very narrow. I can see the UK mainland in the distance, and one of those gun batteries, is it, in the centre of shot? I might be wrong. This is Nettlestone Point, right over there. I can just make out the RNLI of Bembridge where I started. If we look over here, look, can you just make out the UK mainland in the distance? So we'd have Southsea over there, and also Portsmouth will be over there too. can't really get you any closer than I am. I'm not really going to be able to put the drone up around here either. This is the Seaview Yacht Club, and it was founded back in 1893. Look at this old building, look. 1901 that was built. So narrow. It just opens up, look, as I come down where this slipway is. Absolutely stunning weather. So leaving Seaview behind, I'm going to push on towards Culver Point and hopefully find the old gun battery that's up there. I can just see Ryde Pier in view now, probably about 3 miles away, so that's how far we've got to go. There's the view, there's that big container ship again, you see it in the middle? So I've now entered Culver Park. It's a place where there was a gun battery, and it was another one of those that was installed similar to the one at Sandown, because the English believed the French to be a really big enemy back then. So I believe it was around about 1867 there was some barracks installed, and in the 1870s there was some guns also installed. They're around here somewhere. I think they're going to be up there, so let's follow the park around and see if we can find them. So there we go, there's the remains of one of them. I believe there's a few of these along here. It's really busy. It's like nearly 10 AM, but there's lots of people. Got the circular rail just there, look, which probably pivoted the gun around. Am I right? Am I wrong? Look at that there as well. Nice nugget of history, isn't it? And the view that they would have had, well, of course the trees and the cafe would not have been there, but you'd have just seen the waters out there and the UK mainland in the distance. Look at that old dilapidated cottage. Hope that can get sorted out. It's quite a nice building. It's been left to rack and ruin. Bike ride, anyone? Terrible joke, wasn't it? I see like a folly or something down there. And can you make out Ryde Pier in the distance? Tide's well and truly out now, isn't it? So it's just gone 10 AM. I'm going to say to get to Ryde between 1 and 2 miles, probably 1.5 I guess. Lovely golden sandy beach just here, isn't it? Probably the best I've seen of the day, to be fair. So this incidentally is Apley Beach, and this is Apley Park. The coastal path is showing to go down there, but I'm going to go through the park just because I like to look at all the tree lined paths, and there's a few sculptures as well. So I'm in Ryde now, and this is where the hovercrafts actually come in. Incidentally, I did that yesterday. I come over from Southsea on the hovercraft to here. There they are, from over there. And we're about to cross over the Island Line, which runs old London tube stock. There we go, look. And the bus depot, or the bus station, is just down there. We'll have a go on that in a few days, I think. And I've got myself on Ryde Pier, look, and the traffic can drive up the left hand side. We walk on the central one, and the railway line is on the right hand side. Absolutely remarkable. I need to have a go on the train, I think.